Hello Saints, welcome in for another midweek video. Today I want to talk about a complex subject. It's only 3 letters. I want to talk about God, Yahweh, God the Father. Paul writes to the Church of Rome, and we'll return to this passage in a moment, but he says, "Oh, the depths of the riches and wisdom and knowledge of God. How unsearchable are his judgments, and how inscrutable his ways. Oh, the depths of his riches." I think today, and you probably heard me say, I think that we have reduced God. We have what I call microwaved God and shrunk him to our level. We have reshaped God the Father into an image of a God who is at our disposal, he is at our beck and call solely to satisfy our wants and wishes. And in so doing, we have created a God that is weightless. The weightlessness of God is a problem today in the church because we have so reduced God that he is weightless. What do I mean by that? The word honor in the Bible is a word that means to have substance and to have weight. You've heard someone referred to by this, they carry a lot of weight. And you're not talking about the number that turns up when they step on a bathroom scale. They carry a lot of weight because they have influence, because they have impact. And that's what we're talking about when we talk about the weightlessness of God. And when we reshape him in our mind, by the way, you can't reshape him, but in our mind, we have reshaped him in the church. And we've caused him to be neutered and to become weightless in our eyes. But Paul says the depth of his riches, nobody can search them. But here's the key. The depth of the riches and the wisdom and the knowledge of God. And his judgments are inscrutable. I'm going to come back to that passage in a moment. And what got me to thinking about this was if you've ever bought one of my books, I meant to have one here. Excuse me. I'm back. Whenever you have bought one of these books, this is volume 11, the most recent one, and you've asked me to sign that book to you, I have always written in there Deuteronomy 29:29. Because it's not only one of my favorite verses, maybe my favorite verse, but it's one of the most significant verses in the Bible in our relationship with God. And if you think about God his judgments being unsearchable, you talk about the depth of the riches of his knowledge and wisdom, you travel to Deuteronomy 29:29, which says, "The secret things belong to the Lord our God, but the things that are revealed belong to us and to our children forever." Now, I'm going to finish that verse in a moment. One time God spoke to me and he said, "Some of my kids are trying to steal from me." And I think what he meant was, a lot of times I have observed people down through the years trying to dig into the secret things of God that God never intended for us to see or know. There are some things in God himself that humanity will never see. Oh, the depths of his riches, who can search them? There are some things, some characteristics, some things about God that we will never see this side of heaven. Now, once we're in heaven, We lose this human body, we might see a lot more. So he says the secret things belong to the Lord our God. We just need to let God be God. We need to let God be, as I wrote in a recent Kernels of Truth, we need to let God be just a little bit mysterious. For if your God can be, and if my God can be figured out, and if we can dismantle him and put him back together, it's not much of a God. But if our God is a huge God, a big God, a God of mystery that we can't totally understand, that's the kind of God we need. The secret things belong to the Lord, but the things that are revealed belong to us. God has not totally hidden himself from us. He has not totally concealed himself from us, but he has revealed himself to us. But I'm going to finish the verse now. It says, the revealed things belong to us and our children forever, that, or so that, we may do all the words of this law. In other words, we may be obedient to God. I've probably quoted on here recently where Jesus said, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. Now again, in the Western mind, we don't like the word commandments, but Jesus said it, I didn't. He reveals himself and he reveals his words to us so that we will have the wherewithal to do what he says, to be obedient to his word. He continues, and this is Deuteronomy 30, he continues when he says, now this commandment that I'm giving you today, it's not too hard for you, because we, you know what we say, oh, that's too hard. Oh, I can't do that. He says, it's not too hard for you, and neither is it far off. Neither is it so removed from us that we cannot obey God. He says, it's not in heaven that you should say, who shall ascend to heaven for us? I better put my glasses on. And bring it to us. It's not beyond the sea that you should say, who's going to go over there and bring it to us? But the word is very near you. Boy, it's so near you. He says it's your mouth and in your heart. It's in your mouth, in your heart, so that you can do it. So that you can do it. God has revealed himself. He's revealed his word. And his word is in our very mouths. It's near us, enabling us to do what God calls us to do. And one of the greatest ways God revealed himself to us is by coming to earth as the Son of God. This God that we worship is not a puny God, but he's also not an absent God. He's not an absentee father, but he's a God that, while there are parts of him and facets of God that we will never know, we'll never understand, yet he has revealed himself to us. Back to Romans 11, talking about Jesus Christ, it says, for from him, Christ, and through him, and to him are all things. From Christ, it comes when he came to earth, he brought the Father. He said, if you know me, you know the Father. If you've seen me, you've seen the Father. For from him and through him, through his life, through his example, through his death, burial, and resurrection, and to him are all things. We return our worship and our praise to him. The secret things belong to the Lord. Let's don't spend time worrying about what we don't know. But those things which are revealed, they belong to us and to our children, so that we might be able to be obedient servants and children of God, furthering his kingdom in the earth. Now get to know your God even better, and then go out there and act like somebody. Good day.